Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about linear equalities. Now equalities are going to be these signs right here, where it means that things are not exactly equal. It means one side is bigger than another. So if you think back to previous grades, hopefully you recognize these signs. This first sign right here has the mouth or the bigger opening facing the right. That means that this is less than. And over here, we have that less than sign, but with a line underneath. That means that this is less than or equal to. The way that I like to think of it is that the open part is like a mouse trying to eat the bigger portion, and right now we have the bigger portion over here, so that's why it's less than. Down here, we have that mouth or that opening facing towards the left, and that's going to be greater than. And over here, we have greater than or equal to. We know it's greater than or equal to because it has that greater than sign, but a line underneath. If that line's underneath there, it is equal to. So hopefully that kind of refreshed your memory. Now let's move on to solving an inequality. Now, solving inequalities are literally taking what we've learned in the past. So not only have you learned about inequalities in previous grades, but we're also going to be using one-step, two-step, and multi-step equations in order to solve these. And if you need a reminder on how to do that, please make sure you go back into your notes and refresh your memory, because this is not going away, it's going to stay around. So I need to make sure that you know how to do it. So here we go. I have an example problem right here. It might be something that you've seen before. The only difference is now we have that inequality sign in there. That inequality sign really doesn't affect anything until the very end of the problem. So our step one for solving this type of problem is to solve the equation using the multi-step equation skills. You just keep the inequality sign the way it is until a point that I will bring up in a little bit. So I'm going to start with distributive property. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And negative 3 times 5, sorry, that's not 15, that's 5, is going to be a negative 15. And that is greater than 2x plus 5. From here, I want to combine my x's or combine like terms. I have an x over here and an x over here. It doesn't matter which one I bring over. I'm going to bring this 2x over just because I feel like it. It's a positive 2x, so I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides to get negative 5x minus 15 is greater than 5. Again, I want to bring everything away from the variable, so that means that I'm going to add 15 on both sides, since it's the opposite operation of subtracting 15. That cancels out, and I have negative 5x is greater than 20. Now, before I said don't do anything with the inequality sign, this is going to be the part in which you will have to do something with it. If you are dividing or multiplying by a negative, you need to flip the inequality. So don't forget that. That's one of the biggest problems that I see students make, is that if we have a negative and we're going to divide by it, we need to flip the sign. So let's see how that works. Right now I have negative 5 next to x. That means that it's multiplying, and in order to get x by itself, I'm going to divide by 5 on each side. Since I'm dividing by 5, or by a negative 5, my inequality is flipped from a greater than to a less than. And my final answer for this is going to be x is less than negative 4. So things look pretty similar from what we've done before. So let's go on to our step 2. Step 2 is to draw a number line, if not already provided, with the number you got from solving the problem in the middle, if you can. Sometimes that's not possible. The bigger numbers go on the right and the smaller numbers go on the left. So I'm going to create my number line. I'm going to put my number, which is -4, in the middle, or as close in the middle as possible. And the bigger numbers are on the right. So remember, with negatives, -3 is bigger than -4. And then -5 is less than. Perfect. Now I'm going to move on to step 3. It says draw a circle above your solution. If the sign is greater than or less than, then the circle should stay open. So since my sign was a less than, I'm going to have an open circle. So open circle for less than or greater than, and then a closed circle for less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Because it's equal to, we want to emphasize that with the dot, and that's why it's colored in. Step 4, draw an arrow in the direction of the numbers that fit the equation. So I have x is less than -4. If I think in my head, okay, numbers that are less than -4 are -5, -6, -7. That tells me that my arrow needs to go this direction. Great, I am almost done. Now is step 5, and that's when we're going to write an interval notation. This is the written form of the solutions that will solve the inequality. The arrow of the graphs goes to infinity and will be represented by the infinity sign. So right now I see that my arrow is right here. So I'm going to put parentheses, which is always by that infinity sign, and I'm going to put -infinity, since this arrow goes on and on forever into the negatives. That's why it's -infinity. And then the other number is going to be where my circle is. And in this case, that's my bigger number. So that's going to go on the right. And I see that it's -4. So I'm saying that the solutions to the original problem go from -infinity to -4. Since I have an open circle, I'm going to put another set of parentheses. So parentheses for less than and greater than, and then instead of a closed circle, we're going to put brackets when you do interval notation. So this is a lot. I know that you can definitely do it. Please make sure that you are trying your best, and please make sure you're looking at those written notes. Feel free to ask questions. Good luck.